the Bible. People aren't going to know what the Bible is, but this is the Astrology Bible. Okay. Gotta warm up those hands. Alright, now we got some magic flowing. I'm Chris Douglas. This is You, Me, Spirituality. And I got my typical co-host here,
Spencer Ellsperman. What's going on?
So Spencer has done You, Me, Spirit, or not, look at this, I'm sidetracked already. So he's done Life Pass with Jen Suzuki and myself. If you haven't checked out that series, 3 of us, 2 Numerology 11s, and Spencer's a Numerology 6. He's the balancer between both of our intuitive selves, and he's very intuitive himself, as we'll get to. So the purpose of this episode is to start my new sit-down series where I pull apart somebody's astrology and numerology, and I've already done it with Spencer endlessly, which I thought it was a good one to start with so people could catch the flow of the show and maybe get intrigued by what we do. But, I mean, when you know your astrology and numerology, you're way ahead of figuring out yourself. You know yourself. Now you know your mission. Now you know how to act on your mission to really grow yourself, get on the path, and just, like, gun it.
Yeah. I would agree. I mean, ever since, like, finding this out, like, over a year ago, and
I got you into astrology.
Yeah, you really got me into it. And, because, like, I had heard about it and, you know, messed around with it a little bit in college, but really, after I got into it, then I started noticing changes. Then I started noticing a little bit more confidence in myself and, you know, taking care of myself before I can take care of somebody else. And that's been like a huge learning thing, because like I'm always like, oh, you know, let me help you, I can help you out, or yeah, you know, I can be there, or anything like that. I would always put others before like my well-being, which sounds great, but it really just tears you down, and it causes a lot of stress and anxiety and a little bit of depression. And you know, so you, as we like to always say, you have to put on your oxygen mask first before you can put somebody else's on in an airplane crash. Like if an airplane's going
boom,
because if you don't, you're not going to help as many people.
You're going to pass out before you can help you're going to try to help somebody else and pass out, but you put your mask on and you can help everybody around you. And that's like, I'm future right now. I got my mask on and I'm helping everybody find themselves and really get on track on your mission. So Spencer over here, he's got a curse of his own. So like, I'm a double Pisces. He's a Virgo sun, a Virgo rising sign, and a Pisces moon. And a Numerology 6, which is this. So my joke with him is I'm the 12, I'm the Pisces, I'm 12 o'clock. He's got my 6 o'clock, I got his 12 o'clock. Mm-hmm. And this is why we do business together. Get this, because I'm the dreamer, visionary, idolist.
And I'm the grounding factor, and it's like anytime he comes up to me with an idea, I'm like, sounds great, but how do we do it now? How does it work?
Yeah, so
how are we going to go about
I'm up here, Spencer like,
yeah, just
pulls me to the ground, and I'm like,
reeling them in.
So then he takes the more practical route, I take the more dreaming route, then we find a happy medium, boom, we implement it. Mm-hmm. We just looked at analytics today for AOFN 124, which we haven't marketed at all, and that brand we put on the back burner because it's over-encompassing everything. Oh my gosh. Check out my IG.
Very nice.
Whew. So anyways, back to this. Virgo sun sign. So as we've talked in previous episodes, I think I've covered this. The sun in Virgo. Your sun is your ego. It's your personality. It is who you are, and you follow the sun through that sign. So the sun's here. Virgo's 6 o'clock. He follows this path. So we all live in the same world, but he's got the 6 o'clock view. I got the 12 o'clock view. So I'm looking down, he's looking up. Virgo mask resonates very well with the Virgo sun as his rising sign. Rising sign is your mask. So this is like how I view him is Virgo. Mm-hmm. My rising sign is Capricorn. People see me as this rigid, like serious person, and I'm totally not, but it protects me with my double Pisces sign. And then deep down on the inside, he is a Pisces moon, which is, he's a dreamer, he's innovative, so he's got the most practical front, like sun, ego, mask, and then deep down on the inside, he's a dreamer, he's an innovator, so he's got like the best of both worlds when he figures out how each apply to his life and like when one's pushing the other out of the way, and so forth. Because now you have to balance these 3 signs to really make everything flow good.
Yeah, and I mean, really, it's like 2 signs for me because, like, I understand the whole Virgo side.
Yeah.
To the nth degree.
Well, it's like me having 2 Pisces,
exactly.
and we're both really aware of these double signs because when I go Pisces, I go full Pisces times 2.
Yeah.
And when you go Virgo,
I'm just like, yo.
And let's talk practicalities about this too. So this is straight out of my I call this my astrology Bible. Virgo is a mutable sign, which means he's very adaptable. Virgos are, even though they're slower to adapt, they're very adaptable. And my joke with Virgos is always it takes 4 dates to get them to do anything. If this was business, I walked to the Spencer and was like, "Hey, what's up? I'm Chris. Nice to meet you. Sign up for the KC Fit Pass today, and I'll give you a special deal." It doesn't matter if I had $1 million on the backside. He's a Virgo. He needs 4 dates before I get him in the sack. Whether we're talking bed, business and relationships are the same, and that's a really cool thing we can cover one time too. But Virgos are really, they want to make sure it's really safe. The ground isn't going to move out from under them.
You want to know all the details.
Yeah.
As I just kind of squeaked.
Yeah,
but.
and very analytically driven.
Yes.
You're the numbers guy. Like, I can see trends, and then I'm like, yo, check out this trend. Pass it over to him, because that's what he's good at, and that's what we know he's good at. Because we've done our research.
Yeah.
But along with this, Virgos are they're practical thinkers, which I think I did mention that. Capable of bringing structure to lives and to those around them.
Yep.
Everybody in their life should have a Virgo. A Virgo is a rock to a solid foundation. This is your concrete foundation. And that is endlessly a joke. We're always like, Virgo, you should have one Virgo in your life. And I think everybody does have a Virgo in their life.
Yeah.
And Virgo's birthdays are August 24th to September 22nd.
September 12th, I'm like, and once again, I am dead in the center of Virgo. And I'm a double Virgo. And I'm a numerology 6, so I'm just like ultra balanced.
So with all this too, I mean, there's so much to cover, but he's a slower moving guy, very analytical, very grounded, which means he's very practical on how to make something work. And he's a 6 numerology, which is 6 numerology. The best way I've learned to say this is he's 50 shades of gray, which is also an attractive color for Virgos. Typically it's light blue, banana yellow, and gray. And I'm actually wearing Virgo colors, so it's meant to be. But with that being said, the 6 numerology, so Gemini's black and white, I say. There's no shade of gray. A Virgo with a Gemini is perfect because they're the shade of gray. Geminis are black and white as long as it's a numerology 6, because a numerology 6 gets between 2 separate parties. And his life's all about bringing 2 people in conflict together in the center with a resolution.
Oh boy.
And as soon as he solves that, guess what? A new one pops up. A bigger problem than before. Away. And it's literally like, I've seen this guy endlessly struggle. He's a people pleaser too as a 6.
Yeah.
But he endlessly pleases people and brings them together. So we had this video deal that we planned a video. It got changed up in the middle of it. I was getting frustrated and was like, this is not what we signed up for. This is way different. I was getting frustrated, so then I'm like, you know what? I got a conflict here. Send it over to my 6. And then Spencer, lo and behold, contacts them, tells them where I'm standing, pulls them together, says, hey, here's what we agreed on. Boom, resolutions. It was so cool, but it was like, I knew his numerology. I knew as an 11, I can get ticked really quickly. It's like, and then a Pisces in me, and then a Capricorn in me. Ooh, like, if you hit that switch, and I'm being very nice, and then you continually try to, get a little bit more, my radar goes off, and then it's like a big explosion. To say that explosion, I called in the 6. The Virgo, the analytic slow mover who said,
all right, everybody. All right, let's simmer down. I'm like the teacher in class. Just telling everybody to simmer down, and there's 2 kids who are fighting, and she's like, all right, you go over here, you go over here. I'm going to talk to you, and then I'm going to talk to you, and then we're going to bring you back, and we're going to talk together. Boom, problem solved. Who's next?
So I'm glad you said this, too, because if you weren't an entrepreneur, what is a good career choice for a Virgo where you could conflict resolute 2 parties?
Well, I was a golf pro, so teaching.
Oh, I'm so glad you brought this up.
And bringing the whole, I was basically, in my position in golf, I was the mediator between corporate and the members.
Yeah, but that's your sixth numerology.
Yeah, and everybody came to me.
But without the sixth numerology, well, even with the sixth numerology, I would say a counselor.
Counselor.
A school counselor.
Yeah.
Virgos are very emotional and very, what is that, central nervous system stimulant. Mm-hmm. So if he's stressed out, his body gets stressed out like that.
Big time.
And then along with that, these things behind us, Virgos love nature. Well, trees, nature. Virgos, they're very green. I guess is a good way to say it.
Really good way to say it.
That's a good way across the board.
Yeah.
Virgos love Earth and Mother Nature.
Yes.
And then overall, Mother Mary is the sign of the Virgo. And I would say Virgos across the board can be angels. But when you piss them off, it's kind of like pissing off a Pisces. You don't want to piss off a Pisces or a Virgo. That's like Numerology 1 and 2. Or Astrology 1 and 2.
Yeah. You don't want to do that. Once you get me on a roll and you piss me off, I am going to beat that horse. PETA, or what is it, PETA, if you're listening to this, I'm sorry, it's not an actual thing, it's metaphorically, but I'm going to beat that horse down until I feel satisfied.
I would agree with that, because there's been times where he gets his little spark, somebody pushed us over the edge, and I'm like, I'm done. They're dead to me. I'm a Pisces. If you make me mad, you don't exist. I'll look through you at the person behind you, and you'll feel it. And then this guy was like, you're going to feel my words. I'm going to hit you with an analysis. I'm going to tell you how the facts you're stating are false. I'm going to give you the real numbers. I'm going to show you conversions on those numbers. And then I'm going to show you analytically how I'm just going to work around you, and you're going to be at the bottom here at the 0 point like that.
Yeah, that sums it up pretty well.
But then on the opposite side, Virgos are very, very loving. They're very caring. They're almost too emotional for their own good.
AKA the astrology of too nice.
Yeah, but it's, like I said earlier, like the sign of the Virgos, Mother Mary, the like most loving character in the biblical story.
Yep.
And that is a great representation, because it's like right in the middle of everything. Like you're the balancers across the board. If you're balanced yourself.
If you're balanced yourself. If you're not balanced yourself, then it's just a shit show.
An unbalanced Virgo is like watching. What are those little fireworks
it's
that you
like
light and they
watching
spin
a baby
really
giraffe
fast?
trying to walk for the first time.
Yeah, it's not anything you want to be.
By the way, like, yes, most people are like, oh, you're probably like a monkey or something like that as far as your Chinese symbol. Well, you know what? In my eyes, as a Virgo,
I just got it too.
We are giraffes.
And if you haven't noticed this through this whole series, and if you're still watching at this point, Virgos are really good storytellers. It's really, we had this conversation at my dad's house or my grandparents' house the other day for Father's Day, and it was, somebody asked something or was talking about like focusing on the details. My dad will focus on every little detail possible, and it's like, hey, Jeff, just look at the big picture. And then I was like, wow, and then I forgot how he got on the topic, but I go, if I tell a story, I'm telling you the big vision, big picture. If Spencer's telling you a story, he focuses on the detail of this guy named Jim. He's 28 years old, 5'7". He's got a little mustache, a little gray hair. He's got the cul-de-sac. So we were walking down the aisle in the store, aisle 7, looking at the beans. Like, he's going to tell you every detail of the story. And when he does, sometimes I'm like, all right, bro, just tell me what happened in one sentence. And that's like me pushing him to just like, tell me the big picture story to see if I'm even interested. But then knowing this and knowing that, whenever we need a copyright for content like this video, the comment below and all the story summary section, he does that stuff for us typically. He does our analytic work in business. He does all the operations because he's very particular.
Yeah, I'm very process oriented. Even though I feel as myself I'm unorganized, even though I am organized, I feel at times I'm unorganized, because if you saw me like in the golf business, my desk, I had stuff everywhere. But I knew exactly where everything was. And I know a lot of people can relate to that as far as like their desk. But I mean, like in life, like I'll remember I put something somewhere in the most obscure spot, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's right, it's right here. Yeah, and then somebody's like, what the hell is that doing there? I'm like, because I wouldn't forget it. I mean, it stands out. It's in a spot that it's not supposed to be in. And I know that if I see it again, then I'm supposed to take that somewhere and do something with it, whatever it may be.
Bingo!
So,
yeah, what colors are you wearing today?
I'm wearing black and gray.
Oh, so see, I'm a Capricorn mask. Get this. So he's attracting a Capricorn today.
Black glasses.
Yeah,
white
so black and
hat.
gray attract Capricorn, and that is, since it's my mask, that's what he sees me as, even though he knows I'm a double Pisces. But on days that our astrology are aligning, whew, he's always on point with those colors, and I'm like, I'll be like, damn, I'm wearing blue and gold or blue and gray, and I'm like, hey man, we're supposed to do business together today. And then we got a meeting somewhere, and then we ping pong really well.
Yep.
Which that is like taking both sides of the spectrum. So I'm here, he's here. We cover everything to here and here.
Mm-hmm.
That's yin and yang. Just like that. See, he stayed with a rock, and I was ready to fly it away. Man, what else do we do different? I mean, we are literally two of the most different dudes who complement one another, and everybody in Kansas City that knows us, which is, I would say, all 300,000 people by now.
A lot of people.
They always are like, you guys are like bromance. Like, you guys have that
Yeah.
bromance. You guys complement one another endlessly, and that's what I think has grown our business. We've grown 3
Bromance.
businesses, all 3 separate, and the latest is Akati, which has actually taken off. And we've grown them all so well because we network, and every event we go to, everybody knows us.
Yeah. And like another thing I would say also, like when we go to these networking events or anything, like when we just go out and like we're meeting with people, we kind of already know which one of us is going to be talking to who.
Yeah.
So the people who are more data and analytical and detailed typically move over and start talking to me. And then
All the dreamers come
Chris,
find me.
Yeah, and then all the dreamers will find him, and then we kind of just split off.
Or
into
I'd say
2.
people in music have really been attracting me lately, and that's the vibe I'm putting out. I just finished like the absolute dopest music
Very
video
dope.
I've ever done, and I worked on it till like 3 a.m. because that's what Pisces do. We stay up all night figuring out what we're doing, and when we get in that flow, ain't nothing stopping us.
Yeah, I had to go night termite.
And he's like, Virgos like to go ZZZ a lot. So he's like, 12 o'clock hits, Spencer's like,
12, 1 o'clock.
"Ah," he's like, I'm getting tired, and I'm like, go to bed, you're making me tired. He goes to bed, and then I'm like, because I am so empathic. Like, if he gets tired, I'm like, dude, I gotta go work way over there because I'm picking up your energy. And then Spencer over here will go empath sometimes, and whenever I'm feeling tired, he'll be like, whew, I'm really tired now. It's funny to watch.
Yeah. Like, I could be so energized the entire day, and then all of a sudden, like, meet up after working out, and he's like, man, I'm exhausted. I don't feel like doing anything today. And I'm like,
Look at our legs, too.
Dang.
Check this out. We're opposites to the degree that he's got his left leg and I got my right leg.
I think we were the same for a little bit. So the funny thing is,
You got your shoes off, I got
Yeah.
my shoes on.
I have black socks on. You have.
I got black on.
Well,
as
yeah,
well.
but you got white shoes.
Yeah.
On, so
Wow.
whatever.
You got an Apple Watch and I got crystals.
Yeah, and I got all these bracelets that I've worn for the
You
last.
got
like,
glasses
4 or
on,
5
you got a
years.
hat on, I got a man bun. Wow.
Yeah.
You got a mean mustache, I got a weak mustache. Wow. See how cool that is? And then, what else do we do differently?
Oh, and by the way, on the whole clothing thing, you probably think we planned this. We don't.
Nope.
He was originally gonna he thought about wearing this shirt today. And
I was gonna wear that shirt today, but then I was like, you know what? I feel like I'm hiding in the shadow of a mountain. I'm about to conquer this bitch today, and then we're doing this video.
And see, I'm just drawing a line right in the sand, saying that's enough.
Yeah,
and
you're
we're gonna
pulling
do
the six.
this.
That's the 6 shirt right
Yeah.
there.
Yeah. So.
Man, what? I'm trying to.
I would
think.
say, even though we are opposite in so many ways, we are yet similar
with our
in,
Pisces moon.
in so many ways also.
I would say that is the Pisces moon. So deep down on the inside, where our hearts are, that many girls can't find. As a Pisces joke. We are
man.
very much alike, and it's funny whenever he's thinking something, I'll be like, man, what do you think about that? And he's like, I was just thinking that. Or I'll be like, and then he'll just say something off the top of his head, and I'll be like, yeah, the fish are swimming right now.
Yeah, that's fun when that happens. Cause
And
it's
it-
just, I don't
And
know.
we're both good cooks too.
Yeah,
I don't know
it's-
many Virgos who are good cooks. They can't really cook most of the time, but that's the Pisces coming in.
See, I know at least one other Virgo that's a good cook.
Okay.
So.
He must have Pisces in his.
There's a she.
Oh, she.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll have to
December.
figure it out. December. Oh yes. Yeah. Oh, speaking of that too, you know what Virgo's like? Secrets. Gentlemen, if you want to get a Virgo's attention, you don't pay attention to them. They will endlessly work to get your attention, and the less attention you pay to them, the more they work. And then they really like secrets. So if Spencer was a girl and I wanted to like seduce him or like bring him into my circle, I'd be like, hey, I got this secret business called You Me Spirituality. You should be on my show, but we're not going to show anybody. It'll be like our little secret. Virgo's like that.
I always get told secrets by people. Like, a lot of the times, I'm sitting there halfway through, and I'm like, man, I need to just start tuning this out because I don't want to know this secret anymore. Because then it puts a weight on you.
Yeah?
Because then they say, oh, I haven't told anybody else. And when they say that, you're like, okay, one, you're full of it. You're not. I am not the only one. But if you are the only one, then it's like, man, I feel like I gotta tell somebody, but I can't because.
Well, you can tell Pisces, you know.
No.
What was I gonna say? You're very secretive, and then there's dead people. Virgos love talking to dead people.
So
Sixth Sense.
Sixth Sense. That was why it was like one of my favorite movies whenever I was growing up, because I kind of thought I was the kid in that. Okay, little background though for my circumstances. I grew up in the funeral business. My dad's a mortician.
Oh my God. Keep going.
And he's a funeral director, so I grew up around it, okay? And then in my house that I grew up, there was Irma, who was a lovely spirit who had a thing with locking doors or unlocking doors, whichever way it was, she did the opposite. And then she really liked to just run through rooms. And when I say run through rooms, you would like feel this super cold soul just going straight through your body.
And speaking of this too, whenever a ghost or dead soul is present, you get the yawns. And it's funny, whenever I get in buildings and I start yawning, I'm like, oh, dead person around here. And it's always a spot in Kansas City that somebody has died, like Kemper Arena. Owen Hart died there. One day I was walking past something and I had so much energy and I'm just like, and I'm like, whoa, Owen, what's up, man?
I remember the first day we ever went in, and my first time ever even being in the arena for the Mecca Challenge, I couldn't stop yawning.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if that's because I know the night before that we kind of partied a little hard.
We did. We were actually not going to go because...
Well, no, that was a different time.
Oh,
that was another one. But this time we partied hard, but I don't think as hard as that time.
Yeah,
and I was yawning like crazy. What'd you open up to?
Virgo romantic partner.
Oh, okay.
This is good. This is good for Spencer. So his strengths are structured, orderly, and prepared. Endlessly prepared, over-prepared. Over-analysis leads to paralysis.
I am a heavy packer whenever I move.
Weakness, compulsive, tight, unyielding. Yeah, I see the satisfaction. Interactive style, calculated, analytical. Precise, very analytical.
Yep.
And orderly.
Yep.
Like you talked about your desk. Even though it was a mess, you knew the order of the paper.
Yeah. And if somebody touched it, man, I would lose my shit.
Virgo's spouse, reliable, hardworking. We haven't covered this. Virgos love to work. Endlessly love to work. If I'm like, hey, we need this done, and it's number-based too, oh my God, he plowed through some. So we sold t-shirts this weekend, we had some impressions, and we had conversions, and then we found our secret recipe to like, how many people we need to make X amount of dollars at every event we go to. I was like, hey man, draft this up. We'll talk to Josh and have this ready to go because this is rocking and rolling right now.
And
would you type up 2 pages, 3 pages in like an hour or two? I think I was
like
cutting the Pat video and then you were done and then I was like...
It was like an hour or something like that.
And our Hy-Vee proposal, I was like, all right, hit the analytics. I'll get the numbers on there and whatnot.
Couple hours.
Yeah, endlessly.
Yeah.
Spouse, you're reliable, hardworking, domestic. Weakness, compulsive, bossy, sloppy. He is a sloppy. So Virgos have the dirtiest cars of anybody I know.
No.
Kayla's car was a mess. Your car is...
Dude, it is not that bad. Your side of the car is that bad. I'm endlessly picking up your trash.
This is actually kind of funny because when he went back home for his mom's procedure, the first thing I did was like, I get bored when I'm alone, and I was like, I have to clean the apartment. This thing was spotless until he came back.
What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Every time that you've left, I've cleaned it.
Oh, well, maybe we both
And
need
it
to
was,
leave.
and was it not spotless when he came back from New Hampshire?
This is a really good point too. So with him having a Pisces moon, if two Pisces are together and too tightly connected, they get very lazy because we're both just combing the shit out of each other.
Yeah.
Which I think we do here too. We get too comfortable sometimes.
Way too comfortable.
Which is when I'm like, yo, I gotta go. I'll see you later.
Yeah. And then after he leaves, like, I'm like, oh, thank God.
Yeah.
Sweet.
But
It's like, all right, cool. I need my alone time.
exactly.
I need like my me time. So.
Oh man, here's another one. Virgos as lovers. Well, Virgos in general are very popular kids in school, high school. If you look at your most popular kid in high school, I would almost bet you they're a Virgo because they're good storytellers. Virgos are typically models too. They're very attractive. This guy.
Hey, ladies.
Hello, ladies. They're like they're the grounded Scorpios.
So, a little something on that. I agree to an extent that Virgos are always like the more popular people.
Everybody needs a Virgo in their life.
Yeah, exactly. But I would say, like growing up, being through school, I do know a lot of people. I have always known a lot of people. But it wasn't always necessarily because of me that I knew them.
Okay.
So, for instance, my dad. When I go home, oh man, and I go out with my dad, they're like, hey, you're Eric's son.
And his dad's a Pisces,
He's a
Numerology
Pisces.
1.
Yeah, he's a trip. And,
But Pisces know everybody. We're like, we got the biggest friend circles of anybody.
yeah, and the funny thing is like, oh, you're Eric's son. Oh, you're Spencer, Eric's son. And it's just like, okay, so that's how like a lot of people know me. But like being in like high school, yes, I knew multiple cliques. I didn't really have one. Me and a couple buddies, we really didn't have one. We were like good friends with these people. And then like one weekend, we don't hang out, then we hang out with this group of people. We were kind of the people who just who pleased everybody in a way. But he's a Capricorn. And
two grounded signs rolling
yeah.
together. Man, you guys weren't getting off the ground anytime soon.
no, he's brilliant. He acts like a Virgo.
Oh no, we're going red on the battery.
Oh man.
Man.
So, any closing thoughts on your end?
Virgo, so Spencer, Virgo sun, Virgo rising sign. Everybody sees him as a Virgo. He follows the sun through the life of the Virgo or the Virgo horoscope. Internally, he thinks like a Pisces, but he's got to dig really deep to get to this innovative, creative, flowish side.
Mm-hmm.
But then with a numerology 6, he's the mediator of everything, especially being a Virgo. People pleaser, takes two parties, tell them to meet in the middle, problem solved, just like Mother Mary, hands upward, boom, let's do it again. Boom, let's do it again. Boom, let's do it again.
It's an
Problem
endless
solved.
cycle. It's endless.
But it's
fun.
It's your mission.
It is.
And he's a family guy. He's soon to be a family guy, father of a baby boy, probably living in this yellow house right behind me.
We'll see on the location.
If I
Not
called
sure
that, we
yet.
got it on tape. Good